What if I told you that the most powerful weapon you carry isn't in your pocket or your hands, but in your mouth? No, not because of your dazzling smile or your uncanny ability to crush trivia night, but because of your words. According to Buddha, our tongue is the sharpest knife in the world, and unlike a sword or a gun, it doesn't need to draw blood to do damage. Words can uplift, but they can also unravel someone completely. We've all been there. One harsh comment, one careless sentence, and suddenly everything shifts. Friendships break, self-worth crumbles, trust disappears. That's how powerful language is. And yet, so many of us treat speech casually. We talk endlessly, often without thinking, filling silence like it's something to fear. But here's where it gets interesting. Silence, that awkward space we tend to avoid, is not weakness. It's not emptiness. In Buddhism, it's a powerful path toward inner peace and clarity. Silence isn't just the absence of noise. It's the beginning of self-mastery. Buddha taught that words, when used unwisely, become our biggest weakness. But when used wisely, at the right time, in the right way, they become our strength. In a world that never stops talking, knowing when to speak is as important as knowing what to say. Now, imagine going an entire day without talking, not muting yourself out of shyness or frustration, but choosing silence with intention. No mindless chatter, no small talk, no complaining about traffic or the weather. Just you, your breath, and your thoughts. Sounds peaceful, right? Or maybe it's terrifying? Many people fear silence because it forces them to sit with themselves. No distractions, no noise to hide behind, just an honest look inward. But that's the beauty of it. Silence creates space. And in that space, something remarkable happens. We start to hear ourselves. Buddhist teachings emphasize that inner peace isn't something you can buy, earn, or hustle your way into. It's already within you, buried under layers of overthinking, overstimulation, and yes, overtalking. Silence is the tool that helps us dig it out. When you're constantly speaking, especially if it's driven by negativity or ego, you're burning energy that could be spent reflecting, creating, connecting authentically. Excessive talking clouds the mind. It scatters your focus. And worse, it distracts you from yourself. But something amazing happens when you pause and stop trying to fill every gap with words. You begin to notice the world around you, like the way sunlight filters through the leaves, or the rhythm of your own breathing, or how your thoughts, once chaotic, start to settle, like dust in still air. Buddha often stayed silent, not as a show of wisdom, but as a practice of diving deep within. He said that silence is the first step toward knowing yourself. Without silence, there can be no self-discovery. Think about that. How can you really know who you are if you never give yourself a moment to listen to your own mind? And let's be honest, most of what we say isn't even necessary. It's venting, gossip, noise. If 90% of our talking is unnecessary, imagine how many of our problems are self-created. Fewer arguments, fewer regrets, fewer misunderstandings, just from choosing silence over impulse. When we embrace silence, we create room for inner clarity. We start seeing situations and people more clearly without our ego distorting the picture. Silence makes you patient, and patience makes you powerful. Here's the thing. Silence doesn't mean disconnecting from the world. It means reconnecting with yourself before you connect with others. It's about grounding yourself so that when you do speak, your words are rooted in clarity and compassion, not frustration or reaction. Your speech becomes intentional. An intentional speech? That's rare. That's magnetic. Have you ever noticed how the quietest people in the room often command the most attention when they finally speak? It's not magic. It's because they've developed the wisdom of restraint. They've thought about what they're going to say. And because they speak less, their words carry more weight. Meanwhile, those who speak too much, especially without depth or sincerity, tend to be ignored or even mocked. Constant talking often reveals a distracted mind, and a distracted mind struggles to focus, to create, to thrive. Great thinkers, leaders, and spiritual figures across cultures have something in common. They speak less, but say more. They understand that true intelligence lies not in how much you say, but in knowing when to say it and when to stay silent. In silence, we also heal. Mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Just like how your body needs rest to repair, your mind needs stillness to reset. When you take time to be silent, just 20 minutes a day, you're not being lazy. You're being kind to yourself. And with that stillness comes strength. A kind of quiet confidence that doesn't need external validation. It's a power that's rooted not in noise, but in presence. Your face softens, your eyes shine. You begin to radiate a calm energy that people notice, even if they can't explain why. Silence teaches you to be selective with your energy, to speak only when it adds value, to listen deeply, to stop reacting and start understanding. It's not withdrawal, it's wisdom. So, if you're feeling overwhelmed, anxious, or just plain exhausted from the noise of life, try this. Sit in silence. Breathe. Watch your thoughts without judgment. You don't need a monastery in a forest. Just a few minutes of stillness, consistently practiced, can change your inner world. Because the truth is, peace doesn't come from having a quieter world. It comes from cultivating a quieter mind. And silence is the first step toward that peace. You are the ruler of your inner world. Look inward. That's where life begins. And that's where happiness is born. If you found this video meaningful, drop a comment below and share your experience. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who might find this content useful. And as always, thank you for listening, and we'll see you next time.